Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back home now, obviously. I didn't want to shoot any video outside of the park for this, but I messed up my intro like a big goofball. I had the lens zoomed in, so I might show you a little bit of that just for kicks. But basically, what happened is we took the Algonquin Outfitters water taxi out to the top of the East Arm and got dropped off on the beach by the right Lake Portage, the cart trail. And there's nothing left at the beach really. The water's up really high there. The docks at the access point were underwater. And yeah, threw all the gear in the canoe and started paddling across the East Arm. I had 3 days put aside for this trip. I didn't think it was going to go as well as it did. I moved really quickly, a lot faster than I was expecting. The weather on that lake can play with you, so you can have a great trip out there, or the whole thing could be a nightmare with huge waves and a headwind the whole time. But I got pretty lucky, so I clipped across the East Arm in short time there. Got to my campsite that night, and the sand flies, I'm going to call them, I'm not sure what they were. They weren't horse flies or black flies or deer flies, and there was just swarms of them. They were following us in the canoe. The dogs were losing their mind. So between that and my bow paddler not being there, and she was taken off today to go away to Newfoundland, I wanted to see her before she left, so I just paddled out the second morning. It took me about 2.5 hours to cross the South Arm back to the store, 3 hours-ish. But yeah, I had a great time, and it was my first time paddling across Opeongo, something I've been wanting to do for a while, so check that one off the list. I enjoyed the trip. I got a little bit of footage of it, so I'll show you guys that now. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. There goes our ride. Morning of day 2, just cooking breakfast, and I want to apologize for this intro shot. I guess the lens was zoomed in and I wasn't paying attention. Welcome to top of the East Arm, Opeongo Lake, Algonquin Provincial Park. Here we are heading out. Just leaving the sandy little bay. Canoe's all loaded up. Brewman's already starting to get hot in the sun. There's the beach behind me. One other group camp there. This is the biggest lake in the park, and they also allow motorboat access here, so it's not going to be totally secluded and quiet, but it's a good paddling warm-up for me for the rest of the trips we have coming for the rest of the year. So yeah, gorgeous out here. Hardly a wisp of a breeze, just enough to ripple the surface of the water a little bit. I'll show you guys where we're going on the map here. Okay, so we are up here. We just got dropped off at this beach, and we're paddling out this way. We're gonna come down the lake. Sorry for this map is 10 years old and taped together. We're going to come down the lake this way and camp somewhere around here tonight, maybe in the East Narrows. Where's my finger? The East Narrows there. Maybe a little further into the South Arm here, somewhere down by Jones Bay. But try and get as far as we can. Tomorrow will be, I think with 2 days, the way this canoe's moving right now. We are pointing in the wrong direction. But, I think that's Bear Island, Opeongo Island. or just the shoreline. And anyways, we're headed way over there to the far horizon, but the canoe's moving really well. The breeze is kicked up a little bit. We're making really good time. It was dead calm for most of the paddle. It's only been a little bit of a breeze here for the last 10 minutes or so, which has been nice, keeping the bugs away. Not too much traffic out here today. It's been nice and quiet, middle of the week here. It's the time to get out here in the summer for sure. It gets a lot busier on the weekends. That was my ideal lunch stop there in the breeze, nice open site, but obviously the site's occupied. So we're just gonna push on to the Narrows over there. Right about in the center of the frame, I think. And hopefully there's a site there where we can stop and have a bite to eat, let the dogs out. They're getting a little hot. It's a beautiful day though. I never regret coming out here. And I'm making a really good time. So I think I'm gonna try for maybe one of the islands in the North Arm Narrows or Windy Point or something like that, and we'll call her a day. Go for a swim, do some fishing, eat some food. Good stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. The boat is paddling really well for just sitting on the stern seat here. Some forward weight in the dogs, and I'm just cruising along. The wind has now turned me around completely backwards though. Back to paddling. So here we are, right across the east arm. That did not take long at all. I'm pretty happy with my progress. We still got a whole day here pretty much. I'm booked for east arm tonight, so I was thinking of maybe southern edge of the north arm type campsite, or somewhere in the south arm here, but I just flew through that. So I'm not worried about tomorrow at all. I'm halfway back basically. And this spot's really nice. We're right at the East Arm Narrows here. And I've kind of got this windy little point because there are a lot of black flies and horse flies and crap like that right now, but the breeze should help keep them away, get a fire going, and we'll be laughing. I got the canoe tucked in on the beach over there. The back of my ear is all bloody already from something chomping on me. Didn't even notice them. So as you can probably tell, the wind is kicking up a lot here. This is more what I was expecting for this paddle. This is a really, really nice site. I'm happy I stopped here because the bugs are not bothering me at all. With this breeze blowing the way it is down. See, it's a pretty good chop in the water there. That's more of what I was expecting, be it all day. So maybe we'll be into a headwind tomorrow. We are heading that direction, but hopefully we can get going in the morning and not be bothered by that. And I just wanted to point out, this is a great entry level trip if you're looking at getting into the backcountry. It's really Really nice out here. It gets you kind of secluded away from the car camping, busy campgrounds. There's still boats going by. If you have a motorboat, you can bring it out. You can rent a canoe, bring your canoe and paddle out. You can take a taxi out and just hang out at a site for 2 days. And I'm not really roughing it by any means. I've got a lot of luxuries here that I don't normally bring. You can probably see the Canada Day chair behind me there. And I'm just cooking some food right now. I wanted to show you my groceries. You don't have to bring fancy dehydrated meals, anything like that. I just brought regular stuff, so check this out. Here's the spread of my gear. There's obviously some toilet paper there under my hat. I just brought a whole thing of butter, some cheese. I brought a fabric cooler, one of those Budweiser backpack coolers, and I've got a couple frozen water bottles in there. I froze some bacon, a small backpack there. Camera gear here. This site has a couple nice tables. Most of these ones on Opeongo do, because people bring plywood and stuff out here. I don't think you're really supposed to do it, but it's a nice feature. Makes for a relaxing trip. Saw there, some muskol, my 75-liter pack. That's got my tent in it, that dry bag, the body of the tent, and the flyer in there. And poles are there. That's my fishing rod. The other one is a MEC Forge 40 pack. And I'm just cooking up some grilled cheese. Got it warming up here by the fire. Doesn't that look good? Pretty much. Just about golden. I'll throw it right back on the heat there for a second. Love cooking on the campfire, but yeah, just little frying pan. Those are you can buy them at MEC pretty cheap. Sometimes I like to baton to make kindling, stuff like that. I've also got an axe with a 28-inch handle. Probably see. I use this at work, driving wedges into trees and felling them. So it's had some use. A little crack there, but I just oiled the handle and sharpened the head, and it'll be fine for out here for 3 days. That's where the knife comes in as well. It's a good little backup to an axe. Not a substitute, but it does the trick. And yeah, gonna throw the tent up top there. Have that nice morning view. Also, hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. I want to show you my water filtration system. This is a Katadyn base camp bag. I've been using this thing for, gosh, probably 4 years. At least 4 years, I'd say, maybe more. And it works great. It's just got a filter element in here that you push in through the bottom, and this screw is an adjustment to get it kind of tightened in there and sealed. And then you got a hose. It's got this little focus. It's got this little rubber nipple thing on the end protecting it, and you just pop that off. And there we go. Clean water comes out at a pretty reasonable rate, so it is really handy, save you pumping. I like it for these, I don't need anything lightweight. I've got some pristine drops for backup to this. Never go out with just one system, but yeah, you just bring it up above the bag and the flow stops, and I put the little cap on and hang it up there, and it works great. Like I said, I've been using it for 4 years and never got Giardia or anything like that anywhere, ever. No Giardia. I'm gonna get back to eating my lunch here, hanging out at the campsite. Really glad I did this. This lake holds a special place in my heart for sure. It's the reason I got into backcountry camping in the first place, so I have to come back once a year at least. I missed last year, and that's just no good. This is making me feel better. Just fresh air. I can smell the white pine. It's so nice. bugs have gotten really bad all of a sudden. Dogs are losing their mind. Seems to be a little bit better out here, but there's still lots of flies buzzing around. See if we can catch some bass for dinner. Fern loves a fishing lure. He's probably going to flip the canoe, aren't you, Fern? Flies are just nuts out here. Dogs are losing it. They're going to flip the canoe. Time to go back and cook dinner. Boat's right out of the water. Lid's really grabbing it. So it would appear that as soon as I put the dogs away, all the little sand flies went away, or whatever they were. So I think that might have been the cause of the problem. Stinky wet dogs. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad for you guys on the little action camera. I'm just about to cook up some hot dogs. I'm going to grill a pepper. Got the grill on the fire. Grill on the fire there. Sorry about the shaky camera. Here's my food. I'll be grilling up that pepper right on the grill on the fire. Same thing with the dogs. Got my, I can't believe it's not butter. This was a whole loaf. I just opened the bag, let the air out, and squish it down. So there's a ton of bread there. It's a little flat, but it's going to get squished anyways, so you might as well squish it the way you want it. And some ketchup. Always important. A little more drink mix if I feel like another drink, but first one's pretty strong. We'll see. I might go to bed early. First aid kit. One of my first aid kits. Water. peppers. Dinner. Alright folks, so here's the situation. It's the first night. The bugs are absolutely horrible, even with a breeze on the point here. I am camped right there, and I've got a headwind. What would be a headwind tomorrow coming straight at me. Coming straight at me here, nice strong breeze, and still there are flies and black flies, horse flies, deer flies, sand flies, like crazy. I'm tolerating it okay. It doesn't bother me too much. They're not that bad, but the dogs are losing their minds. So here's what happened. Came in this morning, got a taxi from here. They drove us with the canoe and all our gear across the lake, up around here, up through here, all the way over to this beach. Right there. And then dropped us off, threw all the stuff in the canoe, started paddling, and I've just always wanted to paddle across this lake one way or another. Obviously there's multiple ways to do it, but from here started paddling and made it all the way to here in about 2 hours. So not too worried about getting home in the next 2 days. Really, paddle this whole lake in a day, really, with decent weather. So what to do tomorrow? I'm debating going and camping on one of these islands, hoping for a breeze. I'm also thinking of heading home though. I don't know if I'm going to get up in the morning and just paddle all the way back out here, right back to the truck, and head her home, because I am missing my bow paddler. My bow paddler. Solo camping's fun and all, canoeing. I'm having a good time, but it's just a little, it's missing something. It's missing my bow paddler. She knows who she is, and she's going away the morning of the day that I'll be getting back in the afternoon, so we're not really going to see each other for a week if I didn't go home tomorrow. And I don't think it's going to bother her. I know it doesn't bother her, but it's hard for me sitting here just to basically spend a day either almost making my trip home tomorrow a little longer, going camping on one of these islands for fun, or paddling down here and then somewhere on one of these sites. I feel like down here I'm going to be on the lee side, not the windward side, and the bugs are going to, if there's no breeze, it's going to be intolerable. So I'm just looking for the breeziest, most bug-free spot I can think of, and in my mind that's one of these tiny islands in the West Narrows to the North Arm. We'll see what the weather looks like tomorrow, see how the bugs are in the morning. Right now it sounds like it's raining on the tent, but it's just bugs. And it is so bright outside, you don't even need a flashlight to see where you're going. Anyways, I'm pleased with my progress today. That was a good little paddle. Didn't think it'd go quite that quickly on my own, for sure. So, gives me confidence for tomorrow, and I'm going to sleep on it, see how I feel in the morning. Blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, this morning, the spider has moved into the fly of my tent and built a web there. And he made out fantastically catching all the black flies that were swarming around my tent. The bugs really aren't any better. It's still pretty damn windy here, but the black flies and the sand flies are just friggin' relentless. Not so much worried about me, but the dogs are just losing their shit. They can't get away from them. Trying to hide in the bushes. They're already getting fed up. We've only been out of the tent for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to have a leisurely pack up here, have some breakfast, and we got somewhere between 8 to 10k to paddle out today, and I'm going to try and do it. We got a pretty strong headwind still, but I'm fairly confident we should be able to pull it off. I don't know, maybe 4 hours at the most, hopefully.
We don't have to go too far into the wind until we get the lee side of some shorelines and stuff, so it'll be a bit of a break. It's not as strong as it was yesterday yet. It's probably getting on about 9 o'clock in the morning here now. I didn't get up super early, but nice morning, nice breeze, not too hot. Do a slow pack up, have breakfast. Probably head out of here early. I may have slightly overestimated. I may have overestimated the lake. What I was going to take 3 days to do is easily, probably doable in 1 with good weather, 2 for sure. But things you learn. How are those flies, buddy? Here's the breakfast spread this morning. English muffins, peanut butter, butter, bacon, a couple oranges. Should get me out of here. Cook her up. See all those flies on her feet? The only reason she's tolerating them right now is because I'm holding a bacon and peanut butter English muffin. That is why we're heading out of here though. There's just no break from these damn flies, right, Bruin? Just cooking up the last of the bacon there, and we're gonna head her out. Okay, so just to recap, we paddled this yesterday from here all the way down the south arm to here. We are now here and we got to do this run. The chop's still not bad right now, but if it gets really crazy I can camp anywhere here. I still got lots of food and lots of time, but we're going to try and get all the way out to the access point today and head her home. Go surprise my bow paddler. Say hi to her before she takes off to Newfoundland. For what it's been gusting up to, it doesn't look too bad, but definitely going to be blowing me around. I got a little more room forward in the canoe to push the dogs up now, so that if I have to move up in front of the thwart in front of me, I can and get a little more control over the nose. But I've got her a little more nose heavy and more room to move up, so should be okay for the paddle out of here. We'll see how she goes. Solo paddling the 17-foot Keewaydin on a windy day. Alright, it's probably 11 o'clock in the morning now though, so I've already killed half a day dicking around here. We better get to her. So I just took a second to grab the GoPro out of my case there. I don't want to get the DSLR out. Put you down for a second here. I've just kind of gotten across the halfway point of this bay, and we're pretty much at about the max I want to attempt for my skill level out here. There was easy 2-foot, 3-foot rollers back there, especially with a couple of boats going by. It was pretty rough for a second there. I wanted to get it on camera, but I can't seem to keep the damn canoe straight. I didn't get the mount ready for the action cam. So you guys are just looking straight up at the sky right now. Definitely something to consider if you're thinking about paddling this lake or soloing it. Yesterday is not a good indication of the typical weather out here. This is more what it's like on a day-to-day, I'd say. It's easy 2-foot, 3-foot rollers, depending where you are in the lake and how the wind's hitting it. So it's good for me. I wanted to push my abilities a little bit, my skills, and it's the only way you get better, gain confidence. But at the same time, I'm not taking any stupid risks out here. So we're playing her on the side of caution, but we're almost across the bay here. And after this, I think we're going to be in the lee side of the opposite shore. So it should be a pretty easy paddle home for the most part. Gnarly old Opeongo. There's a campsite behind me, the opposite shore where we were. That's where we're going. So we're just kind of right in the middle here, somewhere. Dogs are just chilling. They don't seem to notice any kind. They just trust me completely, 100%. they don't think I'll ever do them any harm, but no idea the danger they're in out here. All right, I gotta get us back on track though. I'm losing it. The improvised chest mount. Set her on the life jacket, hope for the best. You can see it's doing nothing but get windier out here. Luckily, my distance across is just getting shorter and shorter. Hope you can see that anyway. Still enjoying it though. Other than the sand flies that are living in the bottom of the canoe. They're really pissing me off. Miles away from that site now and they're still biting my ankles. I almost lost the canoe getting the camera out this time. The wind had me whipped right around backwards. I barely got her turned around. It's gonna be a trick getting headed in the right direction again if the wind decides to turn us around. Flies. She's a choppy lake. Oh my God, the flies. We're losing her. Flies biting my damn ankles. Beautiful. There she goes around the other. So it's basically been paddling into the wind, into a headwind since I left the East Arm Narrows. It's got to be getting close to 2 o'clock. 3 hours of that shit. A little tired, a little sweaty, but we're right into a crosswind here now. Brew's overheating. I'm gonna paddle back over to the dock there, get these guys out, get them a drink, load the truck up, and head home to my sweetheart. Go say bye to the bow paddler before she heads off to Newfoundland. So thanks for joining me on this trip, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. Finally paddled across Opeongo. That's one more checked off the list in Algonquin Park. One night from the East Arm to the Opeongo access point. So not bad. I'm impressed. I did a little better than I thought. Good sense of accomplishment. Beautiful weather. Just the sand flies. There's been at least a dozen sand flies in the canoe the whole time, eating my legs, eating the dogs. It's been shitty. Even with the wind and everything in the middle of the lake, they just stayed with us. Anyways, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks. See ya. Good, actually. Went a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, I guess you had some good wind today.
Today I had a good headwind, yeah.